Now, normally when we think about co-signing, we usually think about co-signing for an apartment for someone or co-signing for a car. And those things, especially coming from a credit repair standpoint, are no-nos. We don't want to do that because we can't trust what the other individual will and will not do when they're not in your presence. Hardship may fall upon them, unfortunately, and they're not able to take care of the bill, or they're just irresponsible and don't want to pay. And then guess what? You're left with the bill. Hey, everybody, it's Shamika. Wanted to tell you how you can co-sign for yourself. So if you don't know, I'm a big avid believer in an individual starting a business, not necessarily operating and running it, but keeping the business active so that you can build business credit upon it. Okay. If you know anything about business credit, you are probably familiar. And if you're not, with the term PG, which stands for personal guarantee. A personal guarantee or a personal guarantor is an individual, more than likely could be yourself, it could be someone else, that is willing to use their social to co-sign for the line of credit that you're going to possibly be extended on the business credit side. So let me give an example so you can understand. For example, Staples. They are a company that if you happen to fill out a business credit card application online, you are required to list a personal guarantor, someone that makes the decisions, someone that will be responsible for the debt. If in fact the business folds, something happens, you're not able to pay those bills, the personal guarantee clause will be enacted by the company, and then they can come after the individual who put their social security number down, or they put themselves down as the personal guarantor, which will require your social security number. But I know that sounds bad to some people, but it's not, okay? If you're an individual with good credit, you make healthy and wise decisions, you keeping your utilization to 30% or less. I'd actually like to say 20% or less. You've had an active credit profile for a while, so it's a healthy built credit, personal credit profile. Your credit score is at least a 580, because I have seen people get approved with 580s, but at least a 580 for a credit score. Then when you start filling out applications for business credit and they ask you to guarantee this line of credit that you're being extended, you can now put your information down and you can co-sign for yourself. Now, and that may not seem interesting or neat to somebody else, but it absolutely is when we're talking large lines of credit, which you do get on the business credit side. So on average, business credit gives you about 3 times the amount of credit that you would get on the personal credit side. And although we want individuals not to have to PG, we would like the business to guarantee itself. But when you're first starting out, you probably don't have a lot of business credit history. You probably don't have anything to show that, hey, I pay my bills on time. I'll make sure I pay them on time, before time. I'm a low risk individual. There are a lot of things that indicators that creditors look at to see if they want to extend you credit. And when you get on the business credit side, they get to make the decision. And I say they, as in the creditors, the banks, they get to make the decision if they want to let the business guarantee itself, meaning that if something goes wrong financially, the business goes under, then that debt does not get transferred or sought out on the personal side. It stays on the business credit side, and the business actually has to suffer with that debt on its credit profile. So that is ultimately what you want, is to build completely 2 separate, different credit profiles without having to PG your business credit with your personal credit. So that's not ultimately what a lot of people like to do, but it absolutely does happen. So please don't worry if it happens. And again, I have to state that when it comes to business credit building, this is an individual activity. You cannot compare your results to somebody else's because it's built on so many factors that are exclusive to you. So what I may do may not be what you can do, and vice versa. So stay in your own lane, stay at your own pace, and know what your end game is.